Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is of Mice and
Wolves, ow! This is the Comic Workbook Show where we help other comic creators workshop their issues that they may be having in the comic book industry. So without further ado, why don't we start bringing them in and finding out how we can help them?
there you go. All right. Caden, how you doing? man?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Kaden Peace. I'm a first-time comic creator and the writer of Adam Delta Psi.
All right, cool. And we have
Hey, I'm Will Allred. I'm the writer and creator of Crossover Division.
all right, cool.
How's it going? My name is Jake, and I am the creator and co-writer of Ashes Over Neon.
All right, very nice. All right, Rob, do your thing, please.
All right. So Will knows the story. He knows the scoop. He's done this before. But for the other gentlemen, this is how this show works. So essentially, we are going to go clockwise. So Caden, we're going to start with you. You're going to give us your issue that you might be experiencing, and then we're going to ask you questions based off your issue to kind of figure out how we can help you, but make sure we cover everything that you've already tried so that we're not giving you things that basically, and then, so once we get through the questions and we get our answers from you, then we will kind of give you our thoughts on the answers on how to help and what you can try.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of go around that way with everybody. And then at the end of the show, then everybody gets a chance to see their projects, talk about it for a little bit, tell the good people how to spend their monies.
All right, cool. All right,
So,
so
do I just start with my question, or
Yes,
I'm
sir,
sorry,
go ahead. You are first. You are on deck.
First.
Go ahead.
All right, perfect. So, my question is: so as a first-time creator with no existing audience and planning to launch my Kickstarter in October, what should I be doing between now and launch to turn people who discover the project into actual followers and backers?
all right, cool.
All right. So, Will, what questions do you have for Sir Caden?
First question, and this is not an original question. Everything I learned from Tyler James. So here we go. Do you have a mailing list yet?
Do I have what's that?
A
You have a
mailing
mailing
list, like
list.
email.
Or a newsletter?
I don't I have like a personal email address, but nothing specifically for like the comic.
Okay.
Okay.
Caden, do you have any questions? Sorry, Jake. Jake, do you have questions for Caden?
How long have you been, I'll just say, marketing?
Probably about a month. When I reached out, or maybe a month and a half, when I first started reaching out to people like JD and like trying to get on shows like this, is about when I started posting things like mostly to YouTube. I don't personally have a big following. I have an okay following on Facebook, but it's not like the type of audience that would be interested in this. So I'd say probably about a month and a half about.
Oh, he's a baby. All right.
You are going to make so many fewer mistakes than I made. I congratulate you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. What have you done already besides reaching out to shows and YouTube? What else have you done so far in this month of discovery?
Yeah, so I've been posting just to my personal Facebook. I've tried Reddit. What I've noticed on Reddit, like especially when you're posting a Kickstarter, is you get a lot more positive feedback on something like superhero ideas, where you just talk about your idea and list at the bottom, here's my Kickstarter, versus like subreddits. There's specifically, please donate to my Kickstarter. I didn't get a lot of like positive feedback from those, a lot of downvotes. I have done that. I posted to Facebook. I've done like YouTube little trailers and stuff, and also a couple videos on TikTok. So just kind of things like that. I kind of feel like I'm grasping at straws a little bit when it comes to like this kind of stuff.
Okay, JD, do you have a question?
Do you have a sign-up page for your campaign?
I don't, beyond like the campaign itself, that's not something that I have.
Okay. Are you aware that you can create a sign-up page for your campaign through Kickstarter?
Not until right now.
Okay.
Is the campaign live?
Not yet. I was lucky enough I got private funding for the interior art for the first issue, and I'm waiting to get more interior artwork before I start like really trying to advertise more, because I felt very limited just based on the 5 pages that I had.
Okay. Do you have a website?
No, I don't currently have a website.
Okay. Do you, let's see. All right. So you don't have any, so you just have 5 pages. This is your first issue, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have character designs, process pages, anything finished, partially finished, that you can put together into kind of like a digital giveaway, like an ash can?
I do. I have like the stages of it going from like pencil to letter to ink. I do have that more so for like the 5 pages that are done, and then I'm starting to get pencils for like the new stuff that's being completed at the moment.
Are those pages lettered yet?
No, I don't have a letterer currently. That's one of the goals for the Kickstarter is get money to hire a letterer.
Okay. We'll get into that in a minute.
I think Rob and I are on the same page. Your letterers are worth their weight in gold.
Or at least get those 5 pages for
Yes.
a preview anyway. Yeah, so we'll get into that more into the answering section, because boy, this is gonna be a lot for you to digest. You're gonna want to. This is a good thing this is being recorded, because you're probably gonna miss some things.
Yeah, I feel like I should have brought a notepad again.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Because I feel like this one is just going to be a word vomit of telling him what to do.
Yeah.
I do have,
Semi-related question. What is an ash can?
Oh, you babies.
you guys are making me feel so old
That's
right
verbiage
now.
I've never heard before.
Well, I'll see if I can find one.
Back in,
Oh, you meant it! I thought...
Yeah.
Noted.
Back in the day, my understanding of an ash can is basically you have your pages. You basically take a 8.5 by 11, fold it in half, print your black and white stuff on there, and give it like a single color cover or something. Something really, really simple. There you go.
That's
Oh, you did? Okay, that is a term, an item. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yeah,
guess it was just a reference to an actual
So-
like ash can on the porch or something. You know?
So like a digital ash can would be something similar. You would put a portion of the book together to give interest to readers.
Yeah.
So therefore, the 5 pages that you have done, definitely get those lettered, because then that gives people context to see, the lettering, gives context to see how the book's going to be put together, gives them an interest in the story, plus the process pages in the back, character designs, sketches, stuff like that. People love to see back matter. And then what you can do is go, so this is going to all, are we just jumping into this? Because
I kind of went off on a
I got 2
tangent.
questions
before I get any further into this, because this is going to be a long line of information.
So first question is when are you wanting to launch this?
The Kickstarter, or like when I'm hoping to have like the comic completed by? Or the Kickstarter?
Those are
I'm
2 very
planning-
different questions. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's valid. Either question is.
The Kickstarter, I'm planning to launch early October.
Okay.
The specific day.
When do you anticipate the book to be done?
Yes.
So as far as I know, with the way what I've gotten from my artist so far, is going to take him around 6 months to do the interior artwork for the first issue. He's probably about 3 weeks into it so far. So it's probably sometime around like January, February, I think, is when that would be finished. And once then, it's just getting it lettered and covers and everything.
How many pages is the book?
So the first one, it's 17 pages.
Okay.
I know it's a bit shorter. It's like when I went into it, I went into it basically no experience, just doing it for fun, and just where they ended up just kind of felt like where it should naturally be at. I wasn't, when I first started writing, trying to hit like a page number. So some issues are kind of shorter. They're around 17, and then some of my issues are probably around like 30-ish pages or so. But I've heard it's supposed to be about 22, right?
24.
24. Okay.
They're all right. So if you're printing, each issue should be in 4-page increments, because that's how things print back. So like, picture your hands front and back. That's a
4-page signature.
Yeah.
So so I would say you're probably going to want then to put some back matter in there if you're only 17 pages in this first issue, just to make it to at least 20 pages for printing purposes. Or maybe consider, since you have some that are 30, because that's even an odd number as well. So you might want to kind of look at that as far as pace. Just some has nothing to do with your question. Just some pro tip: make sure your pages are properly ready for printing, and if you don't have an editor, get one.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
Editor and letter.
They will tell you you need to fix this.
Okay.
And I'm not even sure what the second question was. Anyway, we got lots to talk about.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
We have a lot to fill them in on.
Oh man. Okay. So, any more questions before we jump into the continuation of the ash can?
All right. No, we should just jump into this one because this is going to take a while.
This is going to be a wordy one.
Yeah.
I think before we get to the ash can, we should talk. I mean, we should talk infrastructure. I mean, website, mailing lists. I mean, all the stuff personally I hated, but
the ash can was going to lead me into the mailing list. Yeah. So that's why I stopped myself. Will, since you are aware of the process and you are one of our guests, and me and JD will just keep going on forever, let's start with you, sir. You tell the good man what you learned in this process.
Okay. So let me put some bona fides out there. Crossover did Diary of Night, 2 campaigns with Diary of Night, and then we're running Crossover Division number 8. So this is my 12th campaign, actually, because my first campaign failed miserably. Absolutely. It was crushing. I was off in a corner, curled in the fetal position for longer than I should have been anyway. So what I didn't do, what the thing that I learned at my core was I didn't know what I was doing. So I reached out to people. And that's one thing I think that is super important that you need to understand up front, is that the indie comic scene, the Kickstarter creator scene, is very supportive. We are all here to help each other. We really, really are. So you're in the right spot. That's totally awesome. But the big mistake I made in my first campaign, which was a failure, was I didn't bring a crowd, right? That's the important part of crowdfunding, is bringing that crowd. And what Rob was getting into with the ash can is Facebook can go away. Instagram can go away. All these other things can go away. But if you have a mailing list, people that you're emailing regularly, I have a weekly one that I do. It's called the Midnight Hour. You don't have to do it weekly. I'm just weird for a lot of reasons. But that gives you direct contact to the people who are wanting to support your work. Outside of Kickstarter, outside of everything else, you have direct contact with them. So that's your audience, right? That's what you're trying to build up, because those are the people that are going to support you when you do go to Kickstarter. Now, how do you build up an email list? Well, Rob, I think my first 20 were friends and family. Is that the way it worked for you?
Yeah, I mean that I reached out to as many as I could. Plus, I had been on Facebook for a while doing this before I launched.
Mhm.
I was constantly sharing out. My biggest mistake is that I was going to Comic Cons without collecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something to think about. Going if you haven't yet, make either what JD does, a trading card with a QR code or a postcard of some sort that you take that go to your local Comic Con, go to further out Comic Cons, because right now you don't have a book, right? But you can have an ash can that will direct you to a sign up list. Now, part of your problem is that you don't have a website. Now, that's something that can be remedied through multiple ways. If you are tech savvy, or even if you're not, there's different ways, different avenues. However, the one key thing to make sure you are doing is getting an email platform, whether it be MailChimp or one of those other platforms that captures emails. You can build a landing page for said QR code or URL from your flyer or whatever trading card to send people to sign up for your email list. Now, that's only half the battle. That's getting them there. That's a whole one thing first, then getting them there. But we're starting with the baby steps, the building pieces. So that's something you definitely want to do. So as Will said, you have to bring the crowd. You have to bring the audience. Think of Kickstarter as the venue. You have to invite the guests to the party. So that means you need to find guests to invite. And you have at least now until October to really lay some groundwork. Because there's a lot to
And
go.
I would caution that by October you're going to have approximately half of the book done. Is that a fair statement?
I'd say probably, yeah, at least like penciled.
And Rob, and JD, you correct me if you think I'm just being crazy here. But if it's at all possible, for this reason, guys, okay, just this reason.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's very open ended.
Yes, I know.
We're all a little mad here.
If at all possible, have the book done before you launch. I think that's, and I know that's not always possible. I've launched without having books done. It's just that there's a lot more variables when you're doing a campaign for a month, say October to November, and then it's going to take you 4 or 5 months to fulfill. That's very stressful. Okay, it's very stressful.
It is very stressful. People also will be very leery of a first-time creator with an unfinished book because they may not, unless your art is banging, and it's enough to draw them in with the very little art that you are showing. That's going to be something that you will have to be very cautionary. And I actually am in full agreement with Will at this point. 1, because you don't have an audience. 2, you don't have a book. Plus October, and JD and Will would probably agree, that is the busiest month
on Kickstarter.
Comic book projects over almost 300 to 500 backer or projects.
That
are just comics. We're not even talking the other ones.
That stuff doesn't matter, Rob. That's just comics are what's important.
I mean, I know, but like when you got those gaming ones out there sucking more money out of the
the other thing you may want to also consider is obviously get your entire book together, launch, do all that stuff. But also the other thing I was thinking about is are you going to have multiple covers? Or you just are you going to have A cover, B cover? Or you're just going to deal with an A cover, right? Because I don't know if you have your cover situation worked out yet.
So I have like designs ready just for like I had 3 designs I had my artist create, just to kind of go through. They're all very similar, but one thing that I have been told by the person that did end up doing the private funding for me, they provided it, is that I need more covers. So that is something I'm aware of and was going to look into once I have the funds to be able to afford more covers.
And if you already have the funding for the interiors, get them done, then launch. Because at least this way you'll have that, you trust me, you're going to sleep better at night. Like Will was saying, Rob was saying, because trust me, you don't want to go out there and be like 9 months later, oh, something happened or whatever.
Yeah. Because life happens.
Yes. And it can be brutal. So
yes. And just, again, Will and I both have had failed Kickstarters, our very first ones, because we didn't bring an audience. We learned the hard way. Now we are telling you our wisdom of pain.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Do not.
You're right. I'm super glad this is recorded.
So what I did, honestly, after that failure was I was like, okay, I'm obviously don't know what I'm doing. Surely there is somebody out there that has done this before, and I'm not completely stupid, maybe just mostly, but not completely. I can be taught. So is there somebody out there that can teach me how to do this, right? And I found the Comics Launch podcast with Tyler James. And I would say, Rob, and you can back me up here or not, but I think those first 10 episodes of the Comics Launch podcast have a lot of really great stuff in them on what we need to consider as, creators on Kickstarter of, serialized fiction, right?
I mean, there's so many great episodes, like especially in the first several years, that Tyler was putting it out that like are still relevant. Maybe not exactly the mechanics because the platform has changed, but the idea, the theories behind them. I mean, really, the marketing, no matter the platform, the actual idea of it hasn't changed. Especially the ones about email list building, what to do there. I mean, those are definitely some key things. As we said, if you were to take your time now till, let's say, January, February, when the book was done, as the book's getting done, you can be posting all over. You could have a Facebook page set up. You can have your email landing page set up. And you can start pushing people from your regular Facebook who might be interested. Because listen, your friends and your family are going to be your biggest supporters, whether they like it or not. If they love you, they will try and help you. So your first campaign, they're probably going to be the ones who are going to help you the most. However, everybody knows somebody, or at least knows somebody who reads comic books. And if they're on Facebook, they can share that. If they're on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, they can share that. If you're on Instagram, same old,
Blue Sky.
Every social media platform, it's like a spider web. You got one point and it spreads. Whether they're interested or not, as long as they like you and were willing to share it, you already have a network. You just have to spread it.
There is one thing I would caution with the family and friends plan. It typically only works once.
Yes, that's exactly
remember that.
Issues.
Grandma will front you, your dad, your mom, and everybody else. They'll front you the first time, and then after that, you got to go.
What you're doing? You're doing this again? What are you doing?
So, again, but here's the thing. So once that audience peters out, you have the more of them who come in the beginning. And this is another thing to keep very, very cognizant of. The first day is very important. The more people who hit that campaign the first day, and the closer you get to funding on the first day, the more the algorithm is going to feed you into the other people who you don't know, who's not part of your network, right? So that's definitely something that you want to hit hard. Is trying to get as many people, whether it's your family, friends, whatever, have them spread the word. Even if they back you for $1. As long as, let's say, if you have 100 friends and family, that's $100. If they only back you at $1, but that's 100 backers on the first day. If you can get them on the first day, that will help jumpstart your campaign.
Absolutely.
Yep.
100 backers is a lot. I mean, well, and that actually brings up something I think that's really important too. Is my wife talks to me about this a lot. Are we about to break even on this yet?
You haven't told her, huh? You haven't told her.
I'm saying it's coming, honey. We're going to make money on this eventually. Yeah. I don't know that she believes me anymore, but
then I hope she's not watching, because mo money, mo problems.
yeah, I know. But we do have to consider, because you talked about multiple covers. One of the reasons that I think multiple covers work so well is because it raises that average pledge level. And average pledge level is very important, because if you have an average pledge level of $20 and you need to get a $4,000 goal, that's 200 backers. That's easy math, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm going to say this, comics should not cost $5. They cost a lot more than that to make, for us to make, right? Because we don't have.
Most people are misconceived by DC and Marvel, because they have set the price for so many years, and everybody assumes that making a comic is cheap. It's not.
It's not. I mean, full color on Crossover Division, it's usually 36 pages, because I usually add some back matter and stuff. It's 24-page issue. I try to go all out for paper and for cover and for interior paper, but it's important to make sure that you have that in mind, what I've got to get and how I can get there, as you're doing this thing, because I see some people doing $12 books. I see some people doing $10 books. My early bird for Crossover Division is 15, and then I jump it up to 18. Now, one cool thing that you can do too is, Rob mentioned digital backers, back for $1. That's your digital reward. Maybe it's $2, maybe it's $3, right? One thing that, and Rob and I speak a lot to Kat Calamia and Phil Falco.
Mm-hmm.
They have a $1 backer that is an indie comics bundle, right? And the great thing about us indie comics people is like, oh yeah, here, you can have this issue to share on your campaign. Boom, you can use that to fulfill with, right? I typically share like Diary of Night #1, or sometimes Crossover Division #1. But it's something that somebody can pledge for, because Kevin Joseph and I used to talk a lot about this, Rob. Do you want more money or more backers? And I think Kevin and I were kind of leaning toward, we want more backers. Money's important, but backers are what we really want, right?
Well, that's why I still, with my lowest physical copy, I only do $16 total, even with shipping included in that, because I want more readers.
Yep.
And then my average pledge is raised, because I keep the increments of limited editions going up every $5 or whatever. But I still, like, I've seen other people for a 24 page book do $20 plus shipping, and I'm like,
yeah, that's getting up there a little bit.
Yeah. But again, I play the cover game. I have 7 to 10 covers.
And when I play, I do a standard cover as the interior artist, so it's going to be Alice or Pablo, and then I do 4 variants. So there's 5 total covers, and then if you want to get the Virgin variants, you can go crazy and get some of those and all that. But yeah,
that kind of gets into the whole nitty gritty of the campaign, which for him, that's something he'll have to consider later.
Yeah.
But for now, we're discussing how to.
Well, I mean, before we continue, Jake, do you have anything to add that you wanted to? Do you have any advice for Kaden? Because I know you're relatively new too.
Yes. Well, no. No, man. I am an information sponge. So, like, as you guys have been talking, I've been taking notes. Yeah, and I've been like asking or writing down some other things. Honestly, like, the only thing that I got for Kaden, and we did talk a little bit about it last time, just with my background and going into this, not knowing, but kind of having an idea, all I can do is like lend my experience from someone who started, like at the same place you did, like first time creator. These hands can't draw for shit. That's why I'm a drummer, because I don't got the, little fine, motor skills. And, keyboards are easy. I can write. And so I outsourced, my letterers, my artists, cover, all the art and everything, gave them the tone, direction, blah, blah, blah. They made magic happen. Cool. Now, when it got to the following aspect, I saw everywhere, and they even said it themselves. They're like, get your mailing list, start, get your landing page, start, this and that. I ran into a ton of problems with landing pages, with MailChimp, with my stuff my engagement was up here. Then week by week, month by month, it started going down. So I was like, what's going on? I create some external accounts. Come to find out, my stuff started getting filtered to promotions and ads. And so people weren't even seeing the stuff. So then I went over to Patreon, and I was like, hey guys, mail list has moved completely over to Patreon. MailChimp is trying to charge me to write HTML, emails. I was like, it just ain't it anymore. And it has been a little iffy, but I have been getting, my analytics do show for it. So not everyone transferred over, unfortunately. Not everyone, but it is what it is. And I'm still not doing this work for nothing. It is still landing on eyes. It is still getting impressions. It is still, somewhat feasible. However, it has taken me about a year just to get somewhat of a very, very small following on social media. I have a little bit of a following on TikTok. I have a little bit of following on the Kickstarter page. I did a ton of trial and error, and, I still had vacations planned. I had to get some surgeries. Life was all up and down, and, it has been a very, very long ride. But I had to push my Kickstarter back. I was supposed to do it on Cinco de Mayo. And, I stay out in Phoenix. So I was like, why would I release my thing on a holiday anyway? And I was like, no one local is even going to be around. I'm going to send a text, and they're just be like, dude, it's Taco Tuesday. Shut up. Get out my phone. And even then, I hit nowhere near the numbers that I wanted to. And, I was doing constant market research, and, I'm still learning all that stuff. So it is all I can do is just give you my perspective, rather than if you're looking for an answer, I don't have one. I'll just leave it at that.
That's fair. So something that might help both of you out in this kind of situation. So again, Patreon, that's cool. That's cool. Mm-hmm. However, it's not your domain. If it goes away, what are you going to do? Yep. So my point, everybody's, JD and Will's point to having the email list is that those email addresses you have, right? You can even export, even if MailChimp goes away, you could export those email lists into a spreadsheet, and you can have them saved on your computer, and they will always be yours, right? As long as they opted in for it, because stealing is wrong. So, but my point being, so part of the reason your stuff might have gone into promotions and to spam is maybe content of what you were sending. Something that's going to help both of you is don't be the guy who only talks to you when they need a favor, right? And don't always talk promotion. Don't always talk, try and consider your words when you're typing. So when you're doing stuff, do it more of a talking as a friend to a friend, excited about your project. Maybe if you don't have something to talk about that week, the next week, say, you know what, this is my top 10 movies of the week, and this is why, or this is my top 10 favorite songs this week because, and I think that the top 10 charts is bull crap because of this, because it is, it's all so, what I'm saying? So just to kind of give, your email list doesn't have to be just about your book. It's basically you're selling yourself to people to like you, to get to know you, and they will be more willing to give you money if they know, like, and trust. And that's having the book done, because then they can trust that you have the book done and you're not going to run off with their money, or life is going to happen and you're screwed.
Right. I'm going to pull something up real quick.
Yeah, and while he's doing that, I have something to show you.
So this particular book by our friend Madeline Holly Rosen.
Ah, yes, Maddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Madeline. It's an
Yeah,
awesome book.
she. This is a very good book. This is a very good resource. This has a lot of the information. It's only $12. My advice to you is invest in this book. I don't know. It's maybe I don't know if she's updated it. It might be a little dated, right? Because there might be some things.
Only a couple years.
Yeah. But I don't know if like the pre-launch page is there, that sort of thing, like because that's
Gotcha.
relatively new. So
Kinda
there's
new, yeah.
things that might be missing. But
Okay.
for the most part, it's
The
gonna
theory-
have it's gonna have 90% of what you need.
Buy one of
For
these.
$12. Oh yeah, you need one of those. Yeah,
You need a digital scale.
you need a
These things
digital
are awesome.
Yes.
And
You'll need a label printer.
label
too.
printer. Yeah.
Thermal label printer. That thing is that label what is it called?
Dymo.
It's a Dymo label writer XL4 or what? X4.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what the model number
Again,
is.
this. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm looking right at it. It's Label Writer 4XL.
4XL. There you go.
Yeah, it's sitting right next to me.
Mine's in the other room over there. So
Yeah. Yeah, what they were
Well,
referring to.
the reason you don't see my background is because my office is fulfillment hell.
I'm actually fulfilling number 7 right now, so that's why I had it over here on the table. That she's just like, is that table going to be there all week? I'm like,
This
till I
week,
get done, hon. I'm sorry.
I know. Like it's so funny. Like whenever I have fulfillment stuff, my wife's like, "Are you done yet?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
I'm like, "Are you done giving me chores?" Because I can.
Yeah, I got stuff to do. Let me do those things, and I'll get it out of your way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're referring directly to mailing out your stuff. So you're gonna need to scale because you're gonna have to put in your information into whatever shipment service you're gonna use, right? Or you could do the thing where you could just walk it all over to the post office and they could do it for you. You stand there for 3 hours.
And it's
Okay.
more expensive.
Definitely.
And it is
want
more
to do it
expensive.
yourself.
Way more expensive.
And you
Yes.
might learn several new curse words if you do that. So
Correct.
Anyway, so we're getting completely ahead of ourselves here.
Yes.
We
Oh,
haven't
we're
even
getting into the
audience yet.
Well, the thing is all right. We've been on them for almost 40 minutes, so we need to move on. All right. So, but Kaden, I mean, we've given you a lot of information.
Yeah.
Like I said, I put the link for that book. It's on Amazon. It's like $12. I thoroughly suggest you get it. You can write that sucker off your taxes. So that's another good thing.
Comicslaunch.com.
yeah,
Another
COMIX, comicslaunch.com.
Right. And that's another excellent resource. But yeah, I mean, and you can reach out to me. I don't know about Rob or Will,
Yeah,
but
me.
I know you can reach out to you can reach out to me, you can reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help you out with any other technical things you might have to deal. And it's what I would suggest is getting a cover as soon as you can. Whether it be from you should have an A cover, which should be your interior artist, but get a B cover from somebody else. If you need a reference list, I'm pretty sure Rob can help. I can help. I'm sure Will has people he would suggest. Good artists, reasonable rates, right? Because here's the thing:
trusting artists as well, that you can actually trust that they're going to produce something and not just run with your money too.
Yeah. Because here's the thing I'm going to suggest to you. There's a lot of artists that work over at Marvel and DC, that work over at Boom, work over all these other companies, and they're going to quote you a rate anywhere from $1,000 or anywhere from $500 to $1,500. Okay, do not hire those people. Their stuff will probably not translate to money on Kickstarter because they're known in the wider markets. And the reason DC and Marvel use them is they just like taking up space on the racks and they just put out extra books. That's all that is for them. Find an artist who you like, who's reasonably priced, who's a good artist, and someone you can afford. You understand? Like, don't go breaking your bank just because you're like, I want Arth Adams. I want Arth Adams too, man. He's 10 grand.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I
but
That's it.
you got money like that, Jake? Yo, bro, my campaign is running right now. Just dropped 20 G's in it, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Give me your Venmo, your PayPal, your.
Go straight to Kickstarter, man. Just drop it in,
But if you are going to go for somewhat of a name, find a name on Kickstarter with a reasonable price and track record.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
And consider going with someone that has a following, because hey, they can then help you share the book, because hey, it's work that they've done that they're proud of. I hope that they're proud of it.
Yes, and look to see if they share other campaigns that they've worked on. That's a big telltale right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean and let me tell you, Kaden, there's so much more. There's so much
Contracts,
As the three wise men
payment
cackle in the back.
plans, yeah, all kinds of fun
all
stuff.
kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
I don't have hair for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Me neither, Rob. Me neither.
Exactly.
No, it's kids. It's not just this.
Gotcha. All right, cool. I mean, Kaden, did that help?
Absolutely. No, thank you. That's great information. Again, like I'm definitely going to watch this again and write down everything, because this has all been great. And I will be getting that book. Thank you so much.
Hey, one last thing that you might consider is one of the things that I was always told, and I completely ignored it because I'm an idiot, is they say don't go into comics and say you have this 100-issue omnibus project of your own. It's going to be the best thing ever. Start smaller, right? Maybe, I know you're working on your first issue right now, 17 pages, but maybe look for some anthologies that are going on and see if you can get a 2-page story, 4-page story, 5-page story in an anthology. One that's going to introduce you to more people because they're going to be working on the anthology. You can all, of course, when it gets launched on Kickstarter, share it, but it gets you more into the community. The more people you know, the better for everybody, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't do that. I just said I'm going to do a 20-issue series, and I'm an idiot. So there you go.
Don't worry. We all have a similar tale somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I guess Will is up, right? Rob?
Yeah. Will.
What's
Go
your
ahead.
question?
Tell us what your issue is, sir.
Well, at this point, I'm really happy because this launch has been one of my best launches. So I'm very happy and stoked about that.
Yeah, congrats on that, man.
Yeah, thanks. It's
well, then what's your problem? Get out of here.
My lobster's too buttery. My steak's too juicy.
That's right. It's a lot of it, I think, is just buckling down and getting. So Crossover Division is 20 issues. I've written all 20 issues. Issues 10 through 20 have not been edited, right? And James Powell's my editor. James is awesome. He's went over kind of, because we looked at the full arc of what we're doing across the last issues of the series and everything. And we both discovered, we didn't discover it. We both knew. I was like, I treated this way too serial. I didn't put enough continuing elements to really build up like I wanted to. So I need to get back in there and do that. But I don't know. I've got this. Editing's hard, man. Okay. That's what's. I'm really having a hard time getting into. But well, he's already given me some advice. I need to go in and make some changes. It's just jumping back into it is, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Because I can sit down and I can knock out a draft, but editing is different muscles, and they're not as used, I guess. And because I've just been pounding out a lot of draft scripts. So, Rob, you've got an editor. How do they crack the whip and make you get to work? Because I'm not doing it right now.
I mean, honestly,
questions, Rob.
No, I know. Really,
supposed to be asking questions.
That question for me, just because my editor doesn't crack the whip. I just give.
You're saying it's not you, it's me. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I guess that's. Let's get to the bottom of this. Yeah. Let's ask some more questions to you. All right, let's start with Jake. What questions do you have for Will on this?
I ain't got nothing about that, big dog. I ain't gonna lie. I have
All right.
nothing concerning that.
All right.
I don't have editor problems. I'm
Ah,
just that good, you know. I just did all my own. No, I'm just kidding. But
He's like editor. Oh.
oh,
how do you spell that? ETID?
yeah.
Whew. But,
All right,
okay.
well, Kaden, do you have any questions?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Jake. I've never even considered getting an editor until really tonight. When you guys told me, so I don't really have any advice there for that one. I'm so sorry.
All right.
No worries.
And don't use Chat GTP or
Oh,
whatever.
please, God, don't use AI, please.
I do have a little like what do you call it? Adjunct when it does come to editing, because with my book I ran into a lot of miscommunication between myself and the studio, and when I wrote the story, the writer I was working with adapted it, you know, for the panels, and you know did all his stuff.
The breakdown.
I went back over it, and I was like, hey, we need to change, you know, these lines, these are out of character, blah 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 blah. But then when he gave that to the letterer, what came back was, you know, a lot of typos. What came back was a lot of, and so in the effort of like just kind of keeping the ship going, you know, I was like, I don't want to slow things down. We're already, you know, 10, 15 pages in, you know, hey, what's up with this and that? And, you know, yada, yada, yada. But then, you know, things started getting too in the weeds. So I just said, whatever, I'll just do it myself. So, you know, I ended up going into the book and I ended up making those edits, you know, just on my own, finding fonts, finding software, doing all that stuff. And I bring this up to ask, like, when it does come to editing, is when you say editing, is that like the book as whole, or do you mean like editing the visual aspect, editing the writing aspect? Like, what is considered, how many hats is editing in the comic
That
world?
depends on how much you want to pay the editor.
Well, there's also a way to break it down, though. You have what's called a copy editor. Copy editors, what they do is they go in and they look at your copy, meaning they look at the text, they make sure the words are spelled correctly, they make sure the commas are in the right places, they make sure that you're using the correct words in the correct way. You're not using the wrong there. Okay?
Grammar.
You're correct there, right? Your grammar, right? They're also going to look into, pretty much that's it for that type of editor. That's a copy editor. Then you're going to have a story editor. Story editor is a little different. They're going to be looking at your overall story. They're going to make sure that it all lines up. So you don't have any big plot hole. You don't have any plot holes. I'll tell you right now, avoiding a plot hole is difficult because, you know, they just happen, right? But you can go in and backfill those, right?
Yeah.
So that's what a story editor does. Right now, the special editor is a different kind of editor, a comic book editor, where you're looking panel by panel, and you're studying the structure and you're breaking it down that way. That's a different kind of editor. We just call them editors, but they're comic book editors because they're different. Because the other two editors, pros utilize those type of editors, and then you have, you know, comic books, which is, you know, that's what we do. And you have to educate yourself in how to break those panels down, how they read, make sure it flows correctly, so on and so forth. Make sure you don't have two characters that are flipping all the time in panels. That's something you got to watch out for your artists, right? Making sure that, you know, they're colored the same way in every panel, right? So on and so forth.
They're holding their weapon in the same hand that they're supposed to be, or if they have an asymmetrical design, that they're not flip-flopping them.
Or that they always have the tattoo that somebody stupidly designed for the characters in their book that always we miss. Never mind.
Right.
Sorry. That was kind of oddly specific, wasn't it?
Yeah. But that's, you know, but that's exactly it. So yeah, so there are different hats for different types of editors.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Page turns. That's
Right.
another thing to keep in if you want to
Yeah,
have
page turns is another thing. Yeah. Well, and this was all my question to Will. Will, what type do you have those editors? Do you have someone that can do all those different things? Because not all editors can do all those things.
Yeah, and my editor is James Powell. James is awesome. He actually just funded his editor self-editing for Kickstarter creators.
Mhm.
Just funded, was it yesterday or day before, Rob? I can't remember.
I think was it Sunday maybe.
It may have been Sunday. I don't know. Time has the
Saturday or
flat
Sunday.
circle
It
and it
was
has
over
no
the
meaning,
weekend.
right? So yeah, James does the story editing, the page turn. He does everything, right? And so his first pass kind of was, I think these are some things that we need to shore up in the issue. So then now it's my turn to go back in and say, okay, how do I want to accomplish those things that he's pointed out? And to me, it's just, it's one, it's not going to take me as long as I think it's going to take me,
Mhm.
but I have to convince myself of that. It's an ADHD thing. I know it is, but it's, it really, and you're right. Having an editor it makes the book better. It really, really does. Because, I mean, what I see in my head, I'm trying to put down on the page, right? But what I put down on the page, I may have a character do this, or like, where the heck did that come from? Well, because of his backstory that I know and I've never told anybody. That's why that so having somebody. So I used to teach English comp at a local community college. And one of the things that I would tell, these, 18, 19-year-old young writers as they were coming in is like, hey, you are your own worst editor because you don't see what's on the page. I don't see what's on the page too often. I see what I thought I wrote, or I see what I meant to write. That's why having that other set of eyeballs that is not you is so important, and why I love working with James. It's just, I think my motivation is that if I'm going to do, if I step into this and I'm going to work on it, it's going to take me 3 or 4 hours, and then, but it's really not. I know it's an ADHD thing, and I just need to start it. But sometimes starting it is the hardest thing.
So,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I feel like that you might be stuck on like you said, you feel like you're starting over.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Even though I'm not, even though I know I'm not.
Yeah. if you can, if I may, Will, you and I both have a similar issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that I have a long running series in Oswald.
Yeah.
Where I've written it to its completion. I've written it to its end. I'm currently, I think, about 2,000 pages into it.
Wow.
And I'm probably got another 1,500 pages to go. All right. I don't use an editor. I never have. Mm-hmm. I probably never will. I only use an editor. I only use a copy editor. Mm-hmm. Right. So I have someone go in, check my commas, check my T's, make sure punctuation, spelling, all that crap. So, all that good stuff. It's not really crap. It's good stuff, but, because my editor, I have a fight. I have a serious grudge with the commas. So, my editor and I would constantly, he's like, listen, like, why is this like this? But whatever. But
Oxford comma forever. Sorry.
Exactly. But what I would suggest, and I don't know, I don't know how long ago you completed the project, mm-hmm. right? So I don't know if you're 2 months separated from it, 2 years separated from it, or whatever. But what I do is when I sit down and I know I have to do a serious edit, I will let a script sit for 6 months. I forget mm-hmm. it completely. And then I look at it and I analyze it and I reread it as if it's new work from someone else, right? And then I look at it and I say, the monkey I was 6 months ago is an idiot, and I go and I fix it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's that was something I read in Stephen King's On Writing. That was something I think he, putting it in a drawer for a long. That's a great book for any writer. If you guys want to read something on writing, is really awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I just need to
give yourself a little separation from the work. And mm-hmm. I mean, I'm serious. Go write other stuff. Try to forget it. That's going to be your key to, because it's going to come back to you. The second you start reading, it's like, bam, it's going to be like you're back in your mother's kitchen having Cheerios when you were like 8. It's like, bah, oh, shit, I'm back
and that
here.
kind of gets to the point where like like you said, it's not starting over. Like I find when I start a new script, that's the hardest part for me. Like is the starting of a new script. If I'm in the middle of a script, I could jump in, get and plow my way through it, right? Or and like JD said, like I could put it away for a while and then come back and be like, that's garbage. I'm going to change that.
Yeah.
Especially with like Nightwolf, I had the 12 issues written way back in 2013.
Wow.
And each issue has been coming out, and I'm up to issue 12. I'm finally now going to be releasing issue 12 in October. That's how many years since I originally wrote it, and how many years it was originally edited. So now I go back in, and as I'm lettering that thing, actually, even before I hand it off to Carlos, I'm going in and making sure that all like the things that I made changes along the way with each issue is retranslated. There's characters that have been added, so I had to put them in there and find their spots. And then also the dialogue kind of changed. I wanted to try and make it more for like now, as well as kind of keep with the characters. So like that's all. And then my original editor isn't even my technical editor anymore. I have Nita Lanning do a whole new, like after it's done lettering, I have her proof and look at everything to make sure everything's copacetic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The other thing I would suggest is, okay, this is what I do. I letter my own books. I don't suggest this for everybody. I'm just, right. Right, there you go. Some people do letter their own books. I letter my own book because, okay, so this is my process. I write my scripts by hand initially, okay?
That's hardcore, dude.
Right. So I write them out by hand. Now just like, because here's the thing, I read that book by Stephen King, just like you, right? So it's a great book. And one of the things that I remember keenly, like one of the key elements to piece of advice he gave was write that first script for yourself. Write it. You want to have the characters dancing on the moon? Do it. You want to have them, beating Galactus? Do it. You understand? But understand that first one is for you. When you go back to edit, you're going to cut all that crap out. You're going to kill your darlings. Okay?
Yep. Yeah, he didn't kill the turtle.
It's funny. I've only ever read one Stephen King novel.
I haven't read a single Stephen King novel, but I love that book on writing.
Yeah. Well, the one I read was good. I enjoyed it. So, but the one on writing, that's the only. I read that one, and there was another one that I read, Fairy Tale, I think it was called. It was actually a good book. It was, portal fantasy sort of thing he did.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like be prepared to kill your darling. So just write it, do whatever, and then just do that. And I lost my. This is what it was. So in lettering, what I'm doing is, so I handwrite, then I type it in, then I let it sit for a while. I'll go in, I'll do an edit, and then I'll let it sit again. And then when the artist is done with, then before I give it to the artist, I'll do another pass, right? Then I'll give it to the artist. The artist will give me back what they give me. When I start lettering, when I'm done lettering the whole story, I take it, I print it all out with the lettering. Then I go back and I do another pass, and I'm editing while I'm lettering. So, and the thing is for me, because I'm just a noodler, I will edit a work like that's 9 years old that's already been printed 40 times.
It's like one of those painters who just don't stop and they just keep
exactly like Tall Tales, Daphne and I have been doing that story since 92. Okay, I've reread stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, like, and mind you, we have an omnibus. We've sold tens of thousands of copies of it, and I'm like, yeah, I can rework that line. I've done it. And she gives you the dirtiest looks. She's just like, why? She's like, it's done. I'm like, no. It could always be
not done. You just run out of time.
So don't do what he does, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now let's give this a fair warning to all those out there who think there can be a letterer. You can't.
Lettering is
everybody
hard.
Can be a letterer.
Yeah.
I am a graphic and web designer by trade, so I know how to put a book together. Also, I know graphic design and typography. However, if you do choose to go and do your own lettering, I suggest you get this book.
Is that the Nate Picos book?
Yes, it is.
Yes, awesome.
So I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of information in this, and it's not for the weak-hearted, if you will.
Yeah.
If you're going to letter your own book, make sure you do yourself a favor and get that. However, also, I suggest not lettering your own book.
Because lettering a book is not just putting the text in balloons. It is graphic design.
Yeah, it is graphic design, and it is, if it will make or break a book. I don't care how good your art is. If your lettering is shit, you're done. I don't care how good your
Here's the thing. All those things that Rob mentioned, I sleep next to a person that does all that. So I get it through osmosis.
Right now, she's in the other room cursing you.
Yeah.
No, she's the one who taught me how to do it. And I have her, there's certain things we agree on and certain things we don't agree on, right?
Mm-hmm.
She likes using straight font, like a straight comic book font throughout a book. That's her thing. My thing is, I got a demon. I want to throw in a funky font. I want to throw
sound effects, and you got to have the sound effects.
Sound effects, yeah.
Well, I'm lucky. My artist put in my sound effects for me because they know I won't put them in. But my artist puts them. My artist always put them in.
So I actually did the what was it? The comics, not comics launch comics. There was a lettering class, the Andy Schmidt one. What's the Andy Schmidt one? Comics.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue too.
Yeah. Anyway, I did take the lettering class with Dave Sharp, and Dave Sharp is freaking awesome. I intellectually know how to letter. I am slow as crap because I noodle it to death, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get somebody. And so Brant Fowler's the letterer on Crossover Division. He's the designer. He designed the logo, everything. He's awesome. So there are Clay Adams is a great letterer. Don't tell him we gave him a compliment, though, right, Rob?
Nice.
But yeah, there's lots of great letterers out there.
Dave Lentz.
Dave Lentz. Is there a DC? No, DC Fontana. No, he letters DC maybe. I don't. Or
are these people we could contact? Like, are there do they have like a LinkedIn or email or something? Like, I'd just be like, hey,
they're mostly on. I mean, we've met them through like Comics Launch, Facebook. We're all
okay.
Yeah.
There's like we live in this comic community,
right?
So,
again, if you need a letter, you could reach out to us and we'll suggest.
Yeah, and the thing is, letterers are, aside from Rob, they're normal people. Right? Sorry, man.
I consider myself a letterer. I really don't, because I won't letter somebody else's book.
I mean, you just say, hey, I like your work. I've seen your work. I like your work. Do you want to do this? And they'll say, yeah, here's how much I charge per page. And you go, okay, I'll give you monies and you'll give me letters. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I've worked with artists, right? Well, I'll commission them to do pages, and they're like, if you want, part of the fee is lettering, and every time I'm like, hell no, don't worry about it. I got it.
You're an illustrator. I want clean lines.
Exactly.
I don't want nothing else. I don't want no grayscale. I don't want nothing. I'm going to hand it off to the colors for him to do his jab.
Yeah,
that's right.
So yeah. And then, like I said, but after I print it out, I do another pass, and then I go in and that's the thing. And that's just part of it. And one of the things I do, I don't know if you do this, Will. I don't know if anybody else does this. I write out a script and I break it down for the artist, scene, all the dialogue, facial expressions, all that stuff. I don't do panel by panel. I don't even do page by page. I let the artist do it because I've found that it allows them to express the way they break down a page, right?
I think that depends on the artist too.
Yeah,
like I work with both of mine, with Carlos and Mog. They both are like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah, so I break it down page by page, and I put a number of panels in. But there's always an understanding that, look, I am just the writer. You're the one that does the visual things. If you need to add or remove panels, go wild. These are just kind of the beats that I'm looking for. So if you want to add 18 panels, rock on, right?
Yeah, that back and forth collaborative thing too is great because that's that again, having a full detailed script works wonders because it's your vision. However, if they know how to best translate something,
That's right.
Right.
like if they come back and say, "Hey, can I combine this and this?" Usually 9 times out of 10 I'm like, "Yes." Except
Absolutely.
if I have an actual pacing reason
Right.
Yep.
for said panel layout because you know, like especially when you're doing a horror book, you got to have that pacing so that it feels like you're in a horror movie.
Mhm.
Exactly. And your page turns. Page turns are super important.
Jump scare.
Yeah.
I have the benefit of working with one artist. I've been working with him about 7 years now, and the other one I've been working with her, I think it's going on 16 years. So I trust them to be able to do it. Like I trust them. Like I'm like she's asked me like, "Yo, what do you want?" I said, "I trust you. Do it." You understand? And if there's an issue, we'll go back. We'll discuss it. It's not that big a deal. You understand? And I rarely ever have an issue. You have to trust. You know, for me, I feel I have to trust my artists to do their job, just like I'm doing. But at the end of the project, one of the things I'll do is I'll go Marvel style, and sometimes there'll be a fight scene and I'll end up with all this dead, empty space, and you know this quiet space, and I'll go in there, and I'm filling an exposition. I'm just going in and I'm doing what I got to do as a writer. But that's what we do as writers, right? We go in and we write. Right.
It also helps having an artist who actually does sequentials. Like so, for me, as much as I love both of the artists on both my series, neither of them did sequentials until I asked them to. So it was a learning process for them and me basically holding their hand and teaching them as we go. Until now, it's to a point where they understand the process, but it's like I still have to say I need room for words. Everything's
right. Yeah,
it's like this. It's like extreme close up. No words for bubbles.
That reminds me. I've got it open right here. I keep the Alan Moore. If you look up Alan Moore lettering, right? He said 210 words per page maximum. Divide that number by the number of panels, 23. I mean, it's a guideline, right? You can, you have to know when you can break the rules, but the way he as somebody who was just reading comics at the time came up with that, I think is really kind of fascinating. So I count words. I mean, it's one of those things that's important.
He got that from an editor, and I think he told him 36 words per balloon.
Yeah, or max, or something like that. Yeah.
Well, but then his balloons also end up becoming squares of exposition.
right. But that's the thing. He breaks the rules too.
Oh, he knows when to break.
You read Watchmen.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, forget about it. Read Necronomicon.
Yeah, that's almost like reading The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah. Will, I don't know if we helped at all.
Absolutely, you did. I because I do love hearing how other people work, and I just it's creatively it's going to be a kick in the pants that I probably need. So thanks for talking. Thanks for talking me down. Talk me down, man. Thanks for talking me down.
You're not starting over. You get to go back in, and it's like you're playing like Tetris on cheat.
Yeah.
You know, I look at it like this. It's like I get to revisit my old friends.
And then rip them apart.
Right before you destroy them.
Yes,
I eviscerate you.
Yeah, that's what I do to my friends typically. Just ask Jay.
I mean, and sometimes we do that to our characters. I mean, I'm pretty sure both Nita and Daphne have said, "Why do you hate your characters?" to me.
Right. But that's part of it, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, it's what makes it interesting. You can't have a happy ending.
Kind of happy-ish ending, right?
No, if you have an ongoing series, they got to have ongoing trauma.
Oh, there's no ending. Yeah, it never ends. Mine ends at 20.
There you go. All right. So well, I don't know if we helped, but we tried.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You really, it does help. It really does.
Okay, good. All right, cool.
All right, Jake.
Jake, yes.
How can we help you, sir?
Whew, okay, so I'm looking at my list that I've been writing down.
Just
And
try to narrow it to one question though.
no, I will, because I do think a lot of them are just kind of like rapid
He's like,
fire.
this one got answered tonight. This one got answered tonight.
But recently, someone reached out to me offline, and they were like, "Dude, I've been following for a while. Love everything you're doing. I would love to sell your book in my store." And then
Awesome.
it was very, very well. It'll be more awesome once he goes through with his invoice, but we've had some back and forth. We came to an agreement, and me personally, I do have a learning disability with numbers. So I did have to go to Mr. AI, and I was like, "Hey, you're the best, most powerful calculator in the world. How do I figure out 40% of the $7.99s and with the shippings and this and that? And, what's my cost for blah, blah, blah percentage?" Told the robot to be a robot. And what I was kind of figuring though was, I was like, "Hey, he's not local." And I was like, "That's fine. I'll ship it out, not a big deal." But then I said, well, now that I do have this framework established, what's stopping me from just calling around the city? What stores will stock it? What, I was like, I kind of already, and then there were a couple of them that were just like, "Yeah, dude, can you get here today? Like, we'll buy 5 copies off you. We'll throw you on the shelf, like blah, blah, blah." And I was not prepared for that at all. I was like a dog chasing the car. I caught the car. I had no clue what to do. They kind of blindsided me. And so
I could see you on the tire.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd get this far.
No, it's put up, shut up, what?
Well, and then so with social media, I put the story up on social media, got a couple, feedback from other local indie, comic people type, and someone was like, "Hey, you got to be careful of that trap of retail, because even though you're doing the whole 40%, 50% thing, you're basically like shipping out like at cost. And while you're not really losing anything, at some point you will reach a threshold of where time is now costing you. And yeah, cool, your book is getting out there. Yeah, cool, this and that." But, I was kind of like, this is a problem I would have never thought of until I got there.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to putting your book in other stores, how would you kind of discern like what is a good deal, what isn't? Is it worth it going shop to shop with like 10 copies? And should I have a little sales pitch? And I just found out about ash cans, so do I need that?
Honestly,
questions.
Have you done you said you talked to AI, but do you have like a spreadsheet that says my inks cost this much?
Yes.
My colors cost this much. This is how much it costs to print it. So this is how much each issue costs me to make.
Yes.
Paying with everything. And then the people. So that's important. And I think Rob Tyler had a spreadsheet that you could put in your inputs, and it would tell you how big your Kickstarter needed to be to cover your costs and all of the
Kickstarter funding. Yeah.
Kickstarter funding stuff. Yeah. So, but I could see how something like that might be useful for this too, because it's going to see what you're selling it for, right? In this case, you're selling it for half off whatever cover price is. And then how many of those do you need to sell to cover your costs? How many do you have? I think it's great that you have a spreadsheet. Do you also have an inventory that you keep?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
That's a good question. How are you printing? Are you printing offset or print on demand, and how many copies at a time?
That was a question I had written down prior to this. I did ask last time about because when I was looking into just printers in general, I was like, okay, there is no one size fits all, different solutions for everyone's different scenarios. Me being very new, even the other people, we're just throwing out all sorts of different names. So then the question became, when is it smart to print long term? When is it smart to print short term? And with everything that happened with me recently, I was like, I think it's best for me to print short term right now because I don't have, like long term numbers. I don't have projections. I don't have just that data to go off of. So, I found comic impressions. I found Kablam. I found, you guys told me about Quinoa? Yeah. And,
Color Vision's good too.
Color
which
vision.
one?
Color Vision.
Didn't even know that existed.
All right. So keep in mind, color vision is probably, if you were planning on printing in the thousands,
Okay.
they are the lowest as for offset printing that I've been able to find. Will, I'm sure you can agree. In our print on demand, that's a whole different bag.
Yeah.
So, but again, that all depends on what your goal is, which is
Right.
what are your goals?
Yeah.
What is your current goal, and are you kickstarting everything? Are you going to Comic-Cons? Are you going to retail only? Like what is your goals for your books?
Yeah, no, the goal is to figure out the goal, I was
Very meta.
Well, I do leave it open and ambiguous, a little on purpose, because I was like, I don't know where this new path and journey is going to lead. Yes, I'm going to put my all into it, but let's say I'm even successful, but I just didn't like it, So I am liking it, I am continuing with it. So now I am starting to look into, okay, I wrote out, the whole story. We have 3 scripts for, 3 books. Now the first one is completely, finished. So, okay, let's try to crowdfund that. Let's try to make enough to just start the next one. I was like, the first one's already finished. The people get it regardless. So if we can make, enough to start the next one, then the train just keeps going. Then I was like, the bridge I anticipate I'll be at is for the long-term printing, the invest printing, community investment, going to the cons. And, I am trying to maintain some awareness just like of my situation. And like, I don't know what I don't know. Don't want to be a Dunning-Kruger. I'm like bottom level, bottom floor. But I would like to continue this, that's my goal to figure out the goal.
Okay.
I don't know if Sheldon is real or not, but you can reach out to me on Facebook. We can discuss it.
Kaden, do you have any questions for Jake on this?
For that, nothing with like any qualifications. My question is more sim like, oh, you got your books in stores. How did you do that? Tell me more. Like nothing that could help.
Asked.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's just how it gets done.
That's really, I am shocked at how often that really is hey, how did you, I just asked someone.
Yeah.
Wait, I can ask an artist and they'll say yes or no. What? You're kidding me.
Look, that's like, what's the worst that could happen? They say no.
Yeah, exactly.
They say no, and you're back at square one, right where you started.
Yeah. You lose nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. Yeah. It just, all you gotta do is like, hey, I got a book. Would you mind taking a look at it? Would you mind carrying it? Sure.
Yeah.
That's as quick as it is. Nine
That's
times.
how a lot of the conversations went.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Perfect.
People are always more nervous about it than they should be. But until you do it, you never know.
Yeah.
So back to your question. I kind of forget what it is now that we've talked about a bunch of different things. was it about pricing on how to price wholesale?
It was because
Well, I think- Yeah. Well, also it sounded like he was trying to. How do you get back time?
and
Right.
that
How do you buy
yeah,
back your
Well, time is gone. It's fleeting.
But there are certain things you can do, right? So you don't fleet it all away, right? So, here's the thing. Like, distribution is a thing, right? I just interviewed Philip Russert on Sunday, right? If you don't know who Philip Russert is, he has a small distributorship called Philbo Distribution, right? So I would suggest listening to the to that show, because on that show that's all we talked about. I didn't ask Phil about his books. I didn't ask Phil about his, because he's a creator as well. I didn't ask him about any of that stuff. I only asked him about the distribution, right? But you understand, when you go through a distributor, right, you buy back time by sending them a bulk amount of books, and they will break it up and send it out to a bunch of retailers for you, instead of you having to do that for yourself. Because that's one of my fears. I want to get back into the dark market, but I'm like, damn it, I don't want to, it's already a pain in the ass to, excuse my language, it's already a pain in the ass to ship to 100, backers, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love my backers. You understand? And I'm more than happy to put on Game of Thrones with the table and start packing.
It takes
right?
work. If people don't understand, is when you're
Right.
fulfilling everything yourself, putting these books together yourself, putting them in bag and boards, putting them in Gemini
Right.
mailers, putting them in bubble wraps,
Exactly.
taping that shit, and then
Yep.
putting on labels. Like, they don't understand how much time and effort that takes a creator
does.
to do that. And we're not getting paid. Like, especially if we're the writer creator, we're paying. We're not getting paid.
We get to do that, Rob. We
Yeah.
get to do
Yeah, we
that. We
get
don't
to
get
do
paid
it
to do
for
it. We just get to do it.
Right. Now, so imagine if you're already doing that, and then on top of that, you have to ship to an additional 200 or 300 retailers,
Mhm.
right? And the retailers, they can order 3 copies, 4 copies, right?
20 copies.
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, some might.
When you do it on your Kickstarter, you said 20 pieces. They say, hey, here you go. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
that's true. That's true. But
Well,
if you go through a distributorship, if you work it out, because here's the thing, you're still gonna have to do your legwork. You're still gonna have to contact the retailers and say, hey, buy my stuff. You can get it from here. And you might sell, like he told us on the show, he says, his highest selling book is like 900 copies. Okay. So you're not gonna get rich. You understand? But the thing is, though, is getting into Lunar, which is a different situation, right? There are hurdles you got to jump through. And then no guarantees there either. You understand? At least through Phil, there are less hurdles, right? And he has a printing company where he'll do it digitally. Now, this is where it's still very expensive. For me, is like, I would like the company I had suggested to you, Quinn, they have a minimum print run of 500 copies, offset. Okay. You go on their site, you check out the prices. They're in China, so there's obviously additional. It might come out to like $1 a book, $1.20 a book shipping. When you move it up to 1,000 copies, it comes down 60 cents, 80 cents. You understand? So if you can sell 500 books through Phil, right?
Or
Then
any other
Or
distributor.
whoever you're going to sell through, whoever you're going to sell through.
He's not the only game out there. Just,
No. But
So
whoever
Phil's
you're
the
gonna
only one out there, right?
right. Yeah. But whoever you use, if you can sell at least 500 copies, you can bank 500 copies that you can take to shows with you, and that you can do Kickstarters with, so on and so forth.
I would say, though, that with a distributor, you're paying to
Right.
get your book in front of more people. That's the cost of that. You're
Right.
selling your book at a much lower price, and that's the cost of getting it in front of those people.
well, yeah, you're not going. So your best hope in the retail space is to break even. You'll be lucky if you do.
Mhm.
Being in retail, especially very early on, is a marketing expense that you can
Right.
write off.
Mhm.
Because really where you're going to make the money is Kickstarter, doing it yourself. And that's why we all do it.
Mhm.
Going to retail, yes, you get a wider audience, but the caveat there is that you're not making money on that.
Mhm.
I don't agree with Rob because I have made money.
Wow.
I have
You
made
know,
money.
that was in 1992, 3, 4,
That is
5.
true. That is true.
Today.
That is true. It was in the 90s. It was a different day. I could sell 5,000 copies out the gate, right? So it was a different era. The thing is, though, is again, you have to, like, if you go through Kickstarter first and you get all your core costs out of the way, meaning your artists, your inking, your lettering, and all that stuff, you pay all that stuff through Kickstarter, right? Then you move into the other space. It's a lot of work. You got to go out there. You got to talk to these retailers. There's no reason why any one of us can't sell 2,000 copies. through that market. And you don't have to stick to the dictums of Marvel and DC. You don't have to have a $4.99 book. You have a $5.99 book. You have a $6.99 book. You have an $8.99 book. It doesn't matter. You understand? There's a story from Bill Black, the guy who did Americomics, when he was at Diamond Comics. They're about to kick him out of the book. Bill Black had been the longest running account they ever had. Right? They were there before Marvel and DC. Okay. The only thing is they were doing FemForce, and they had maybe 1,000 dedicated fans, right? Who bought it no matter what, right? And Bill, they were going to kick him out of the catalog because they weren't making enough money. So at one point you had to at least make $2,500, right? And they were like, the guy who had the account, he felt bad for Bill. He said, listen, just raise the damn price to $8.99 or $9. I think it was either $8.99 or $9.99 per issue. It was a 32-page comic. And you know what happened? Those same 1,000 people still bought it because they understand that when you have fans, and also when you're buying indie, you understand you're not just buying some stuff for Marvel and DC. You're buying boutique comics, right? Mm-hmm. They're boutique, right? They're custom made. Everything about them special to us. We're that little cobbler over there hammering the friggin' nails. That's who we are, right? So you got to remember that. Don't feel that you're selling to the same markets as Marvel and DC, because the people who buy indie comics, really buy indie comics, they'll know, well, I'm going to spend $7.99, $8.99, whatever the price, you slap on it, they're going to probably pay it.
Yeah, and you're not wrong too, because as we are boutique, and it's not just the comic that we're selling, we're also selling an experience via Kickstarter, right? We're bringing in our audience to help us make this thing that didn't exist before, and that's part of the genius of Kickstarter, and part of the really appeal to it is because there's nothing between us and our readers. They can shoot me an email. It's like, I can't believe you did this in this book. What the hell were you thinking? I'm like, sorry, man, I'll do better next time. We are not insulated at all, because we are. That's what we're doing. We're bringing in, supporters to say, hey, this is something that I think should be made. Can you help me make it? And then we make it together, kind of. It's awesome. I really think that's why I love being on Kickstarter. I don't know that I've wanted to try the retailer game yet, just because for me the cost versus the benefits just aren't there from a time standpoint.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's me. That's not, what you guys want to do, The
other thing too to consider is the momentum. Is that if you have one book out now and it's going to be another year before the next one hits the shelves, you're kind of killing your own momentum. So it's all, unless you're like pumping these things out regularly, it's better to also wait till you have your first story arc out and then start putting them in the retail space. And that's one benefit of going with like a publisher. There are several different out there, like Antarctic Press or SourcePoint or others who will let you create or, have keep your IP rights, and they'll distribute for you at a fee or whatever, as long as they slap their logo on it or whatever. But again, that's something that you have to have your full run, right? And that's one of those things. It's a long game. It's just different ways to do it. But again, like it's readers in retail spaces expect a monthly book or even a bi-monthly.
Okay.
The Wednesday Warriors. Yeah.
Yes.
But on Kickstarter, and this is something that
interesting. Okay.
This is a metaphor that I think Charlie used, Charlie Stickney.
Mm-hmm.
Our books are on this infinite newsstand with everybody else. So, there's books by Image on Kickstarter. There's books by, other big name publishers.
Jim Lee is selling his art right now.
He's selling his art or his art book?
This
His
art book. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a collected art book.
Yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, I'm sure
I just
somebody
I
probably
backed it. Yeah.
licensed it. Yeah.
Is
It's
he at
probably
a,
not even him. He's
Yeah.
just getting money for it.
is he at $1 million yet?
Probably.
Probably. But in Kickstarter, we're kind of equals, right? We're on that same newsstand. Now, of course, they have more marketing budget and they have Jim Lee or they have, Art Adams or whoever, but we're still there, and Kickstarter is still going to recommend our projects and our campaigns to people that have backed something similar. And we probably haven't even mentioned this, but I use BackerKit.
Yep.
I like BackerKit because I can go to BackerKit and I can say, send out an email, and it will email all of the people that have ever backed one of my campaigns, period.
Well, that's kind of like putting the cart before the horse, because
Well, yeah, I know. That's way down the line.
Having multiple campaign benefit.
Yeah.
If you have one campaign, that's using BackerKit's a waste of time and money.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And you really need, I think if you want to do BackerKit, probably have 200 backers or more, or 250, somewhere in there. I can't remember what the exact
for the
number.
pledge manager, yes.
Yes, pledge manager.
That's
It's
again,
awesome.
you're talking one thing for two different platforms that it has.
Yeah.
Like BackerKit launch is what he first was referring to for emails for multiple. Basically, what it does is it takes all of your backers from every single campaign you've ever done, it balls them up into one email list.
Yep.
BackerKit Pledge Manager, after running a campaign, if you have, let's say, 200 backers, it helps. It's a better system for having add-ons and pledge management than Kickstarter's own pledge management that it didn't even have a year or two ago.
Until just recently.
Okay.
But
So
again, you're going to be paying 3.5% of your backer funds.
And backer launch is like $100, I think, or whatever, $99, something like that.
It's 100. Okay. I think it's a flat 100.
Yeah. Okay. So there's lots of great tools out there, but Rob is absolutely right. You have to start and then build, and it's slow. It really is slow. I mean, when did I first launch? I first launched Crossover Division in 2020, and we're up to number 8 now. God.
My 10-year anniversary of my failed campaign was in May.
I think my 10-year anniversary will be in 2028 of when it failed. So I'll have to have a drink.
So it took me almost a year to actually. It took me over a year to finally finish the first issue, go to a Comic-Con and start selling it before. In 2017 in September was when it first officially was printed. So that's how it shows how long that this has been built up.
Well, and I think the important thing is to not put so much pressure on yourself that you think I have to do this stuff, all of it right now, and it all has to be done right now. Doing just a little bit a day or a little bit a week will get you there eventually. It's just showing up, being consistent, and doing what you need to do. It's boring and it's annoying, but that's probably the best advice I ever got, was just keep going, right? Because, to quote Tyler James again, we need the books that you're going to make. We really do. The world needs it. And I'm not being a smart ass here.
No, I believe that to my core.
Yeah, we all should make more art. All of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The world can never have enough art.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Jake, did we help at all, or did we just confuse you?
No, there were some good takeaways. Obviously, most things are just case by case basis. None of the nitty gritty, the little details. So just going off of some of the bullet points, getting your wisdom and perspective and everything it does give me a better outlook and a better sense of direction concerning retail. Like the biggest thing you were like, yeah, like people are retail buyers. They do expect that, you know, ongoing thing. They do. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I never considered that. You know, like I literally I just got into comics, you know, last year. So like I was like, I'm not one of those, and like I have no clue how those people think. So it definitely frames the Kickstarter mindset approach as opposed to the brick and mortar, you know, approach. The biggest thing JD said was, no reason you shouldn't sell 2,000 copies. Hey, big dog, how do
That's why I had to throw in that caveat that was in the 90s. Don't trust that.
No. You got to understand. I did that in the 90s. When I say that there's no reason we can't do it, is because I have this weird thing in me. It's called hope. Okay, it's this weird thing. It's called hope, because the thing is that I'm hoping the market will turn at some point.
Yeah.
Right. Through initiatives. I mean, whether Lunar opens up or Universal opens up, those are both other distributors, or someone like Philbo can open up the market for us. You understand? That's when I say that I feel there's no reason why we can't sell that many books. Right? It's a thing. I'm looking to the future. It's hope. Right? That's what I'm saying. Because when I hear people say, "Oh, you're only going to break even," I mean, those are crushing words to me. You understand? That's like, you just might as well say, "You suck. You're not going to make it. No way." You just might as well be saying that. It was like, you're just going to break even. You're going to be on the road for the rest of your life, going to these conventions, paying $900 for a table, maybe break it even, maybe not. Who knows? Right? I mean, let's be real.
But it's the friends we meet along the way, JD.
Oh, yeah. But I feel there's hope for the direct market. I think we can do these things. That's how I feel about it, you know.
No,
but you know, but listen, I mean, another person that's hoping. Here's Adam with his project. Adam, you got like 3 minutes, man. Sell us. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no worries. So it's my project, my comic. It's the first one I ever made. It's Adam Delta Psi. It is a story about a synthetic human being created in a government laboratory to become the future of human power. He's physically complete and extraordinarily powerful, but emotionally he's unfinished, and that's what really drives it. I never wanted it to be a story about an incredibly powerful superhero and one big arch villain that's kind of like it's similar strength to him. So I wanted his central antagonist to be his own morality, kind of trying to answer the question of, if you create someone with godlike power, how do you teach them the difference between right and wrong in a world that can literally bend to his will? And then it uses the von Neumann-Wigner interpretation of quantum mechanics for the power system, which is consciousness-driven reality. Due to an experiment that kind of ruptured the quantum field, some people have stronger observer density, which allows them, instead of just experiencing a reality down to what we would experience, to instead alter it. Which is where superpowers come from. And Adam is the most powerful because he has the highest observer density ever recorded.
All right, cool. Listen, I love the concept. I really like.
Thank you.
The art's pretty good.
It's really cool. So we'll hopefully launch in October, God willing.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping. Maybe just based on feedback today, maybe I should push that back. But until I think I'll rewatch this and think on that more, hopefully launching in October.
Is that project image from the video, or is that your actual image?
That image is that's not in the video. That is one of the concept covers. It doesn't have like any lettering or anything, but that's just kind of what my artist and I were thinking.
Okay, so you're going to give you a quick pointer for scroll back up to your project image. That image, you are going to want to have something way more eye-catching, way more interesting. Think Netflix, when you see one of those like preview captures or whatever, you want to have something that's like really going to capture somebody's imagination. That doesn't tell me anything. I probably would just scroll right past that. No offense.
No. I
just think of it as like a trailer in an image.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of it, I'm kind of why I wanted to hold off till I got more artwork, because I was trying to build this stuff, and it's like, oh, I have very little stuff to work with here.
Well, as soon as you get
so I absolutely agree
the
with
best
you.
image you can possibly get, whether it's a cover or not, that's what you want to put up there. Frame it so that you can see everything properly, and then you want to definitely get your promotional tab going so that you can start sharing out the project right away.
Well, look, here's a good example of that. Right, Will?
Yeah, when you get,
it's a very good example of that.
When you get, so two things here. One, I typically have Alice or Pablo do a specific image just for Kickstarter, the project image, right? But when you luck into getting Tula Lote as your artist, we just cropped her cover and we use that as our image because she's awesome.
It's with the play button and everything. That's perfect place. It's very femme fatale.
All right. So Will, please walk us through this. You got a few minutes.
All right, cool. The pitch is when stories come to life and threaten to fracture reality beyond repair, only an English professor and a research librarian have the knowledge and smarts to save us all from an unhappy ending. In this issue, Hank and Hector are our crossover division agents. The game is afoot. So will our femme fatale dangerous to Hank and Hector as Irene Adler did to Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson? So we're crossing over with Sherlock Holmes, which is he was a lot of fun to write. I got the best job in the world. I get to use all the great toys of Western literature and just smash them into each other and have fun. It's awesome. But I mean, these covers, scroll down, Alice's standard cover, or sorry, scroll back up, sorry. That is our standard cover for number 8, Alice's cover. And I think it's just beautiful. One of the things that I love working with artists, but I love especially working with artists when they keep getting better every issue. And that's just, Alice is just growing by leaps and bounds with every issue. I mean, she keeps pushing herself, and Pablo keeps getting better too. I mean, it's so much fun working with artists. And then, so Pablo, so we alternate artists typically. So Pablo gets the first variant. This variant's by Carola Borelli, who's awesome as well. Then Angela Wu does our third variant, and then the final variant is, of course, the Tula Lote variant, which is very, very striking. All with our logo and everything put on there by our letterer and designer Brent Fowler.
Very nice.
I love working with these guys because they're awesome and they make me look like I know what I'm doing.
That's important.
It is.
So, I mean, all right. So you already said it's going to be 20 issues in total.
Yep, exactly. And the final issue is going to be a giant size monster 52 pager. I'm a bit weird for a lot of reasons, but when I approached the series, I wanted to be kind of a structuralist. I wanted to say every issue is going to be 24 pages. I need to fit it into that and make that the standard. So all 19, usually they're 24 pages. Usually when I kick off the next arc, I add 2 extra pages, but I try to stick with that. But the last issue is going to wrap everything up, and it's a 52 page where both Pablo and Alice will be doing half of the book. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right. So I'm just trying to, okay, there we go.
Oh, can scroll, wait, right, stop, go up just a little more, a bit more where it's got there. Okay, stop there. Please, Jake, Kaden, for the love of all that's holy, if you bleed and fret and sweat over a book, please bag and board it and put it in a
yes
Gemini mailer. Don't just throw it in an envelope and hope that it'll get there. You've poured your heart and soul into it. Protect it, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It'll save you a lot of hassle too when backers are pissed.
Yes.
Yeah. I would even go as far as adding bubble wrap.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, Will, this looks great. So
Thanks.
You got another 17 days to go?
Yep.
You've already
Absolutely.
funded?
And we funded early, which is
Nice.
a nice
Big
feeling.
snaps. Good job, dude.
Thank you.
There you go.
It's usually we fund much closer to the end, but I credit I credit the art team and the rest of the team because the covers are amazing and Alice's interior art's amazing. Again, they make me look good. So
Well, and clearly you have a track record because how many, like you said, you've been doing like with 12?
Yeah, I think this is 8. We did the hardcovers 9 and then 2 for crossover division. So this is the 11th Kickstarter, I think 11th or 12th.
Yeah, see, there you go. I mean, you can't, you have some credit in that as well. I mean, you're the one doing all the fulfillment, the writing, the management,
Yep.
All right. And
Get your digital scale and get your label maker.
there you go. Jacob, please. You got a few minutes.
What started off as a music project. My background is in music. From that came a story, Ashes Over Neon, that follows all the band members, how they meet each other, and it takes place in a science fiction world. And my little tagline is start a band, end the world.
Nice.
Your typical cyberpunk surveillance, state. And this book centers around Sarah, the woman in there. And I pulled a lot from my own life. And, she is at the crossroads of, do I stay in my stable, life, everything I've worked for, got all my goals, or do I follow my passion? So the theme of the whole series really is like cost and sacrifice.
Nice.
Each member, has their own little thing, just.
Mm-hmm.
But I also decided to include the soundtrack that we ended up writing with the book as well. So the lowest tier is at $8, and that will get you the digital version of both the book and the soundtrack.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
and you guys both have your pre-launch pages there, so people can follow the project. That's awesome. And
Yeah, mine will be on September 9th.
Follower.
So you're looking to launch on September 9th?
September 9th, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right,
Nice.
cool. All right. Reach out. We'll bring you on the other show if you want.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, cool. Very nice. I mean, so everybody sign up. You got 55 followers. We can always, try to get you a few more.
Oh, it's 55 now? Love it. Love it.
I didn't know. All right, cool. So yes, everybody jump on. Very nice.
It wasn't 55 this morning, so I'll take it.
Hey, listen, it's always nice to see a few more in there.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
All right, Rob. You've already funded. So pitch us. What do you got?
I mean, we don't have to. So this is volume 1 of my series Snowpaw. It's about a young woman who is born a werewolf in the 19th century Scotland on her family farm in the Highlands. It's failing. Her father betroths her to a rich man's son to save the family farm. During the engagement party, a high-class werewolf discovers her existence and follows her back to the family farm and attacks her family, triggering her first transformation. And then a lot of basically the road to revenge and vengeance, ensues.
And this guy knows how to make hardcovers, people.
Yes, he does. That's some really nice.
Just a few.
Yeah. All right, cool. I mean, so you're still in the middle of fulfillment, right?
The book is in the middle of the ocean right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I would consider that fulfillment.
I mean, it's on the boat. It's supposed to be here in the middle of September.
All right, very nice. All right, cool. All right, but it's still open for people to still buy it though, right? It's still open.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so yeah, go buy a book. Rob's cool dude, great looking book. All right, real quick, I'll pull up my campaign. Make this quick. So Booting again. So this is A Country Night in New York City, 1 through 4, an Oswald Chronicles. So this is the story that Oswald is telling of a young lady. She's a knight, and her name is Anna, and she is fighting for her life against these entities that are invading her town. And she's trying to make it to New York City to raise an army to bring them back to save her people. And, Oswald's telling this story because it folds over into the greater story of what he's doing. So, and this is it. These are some covers. These are some Frank Frazetta homage covers that I had done, featuring Anna as she attacks some trolls and stuff. And these are some of the interior pages by my long-running artist, Jade Gonzalez. And that's pretty much it. I think I got another 5 days. 5 days. So if you want, jump in, back it. There you go. So that's it for that. All right, everyone. Thank you. This was an awesome show. I think, I hope we helped. We tried.
Definitely.
I know I ranted for a little bit.
Had a lot of information dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good info.
No, it was
But
all
but like I said, Jake, Kaden, if you ever need anything, you can always reach out.
Thank you.
Will, always the same. Rob. Thank you.
And likewise, I don't know what I can do for you guys, but it goes both ways.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, it's always a thing. The best way you can help any of us is promotion, right? Share the link.
100%. Yeah.
Share the link. There you go. That's pretty much it.
And be active in the community, because that'll help you out in the long run as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even go look at some of like the super popular Kickstarter comics Kickstarters, and maybe just back for $1, right?
Right.
Then you can see what those creators are doing. Maybe they're doing some backer only messages, and just see
all their updates,
and things like that.
Sure.
It's a really good way to see what else is going on out there.
Yeah.
and it'll also show that you're backing others, and they'll be more likely to come
Part of the community. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. For sure. All right, cool. Will, let's start with you. Where can we find you in your work, sir?
You can find me at mostly on Blue Sky, Allred. I think I'm just Allred at Blue Sky Social. Allred at Gmail, and I've got crossoverdivision.com as a place you can go to. Although I may be having problems with the website now, which I've got something else to work on tonight. Reach out. If anybody wants to chat, I'm always up for chatting about comics because I am a giant comics nerd.
This is a good thing. Jake, where can we find you in your work, sir?
Everything Ashes Over Neon. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Some platforms I'm more active on, others. But even I finally hit just you Google it, I literally pop right up. So I was like, that's a little milestone.
All right, cool. Kaden?
Hey, so right now I'm on Kickstarter, YouTube, TikTok. You can just look up Adam Delta Psi. You can put the symbols or just type it out, Delta Psi. And then, something I learned tonight, coming soon, a website. So, but right now, just YouTube, TikTok, that kind of thing.
Nice. Rob, where can we find you in your work, sir?
As always, you can find me on pretty much any social network at Lone Wolf Comics. I'm mostly active on Facebook, X, and Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky and TikTok, not as much. And you can find me on the same 3 that I'm very active at, Rob Multari. LoneWolfComics.com is my website. And you can go to snowpaw.lonewolfcomics.com, and that'll take you to the very long Kickstarter link for the late pledges of Snowpaw Volume 1.
All right, cool. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, DeviantArt, YouTube every Sunday with various creators, and every other week, kind of, sort of, with Rob, whatever we get. Exactly. And currently on Kickstarter, for the Oswald Chronicles. So go check it out. And just remember, everybody, please check out the show notes. In the show notes are the links to all of these creators' campaigns, all of their projects. So click on those links and buy those books. These creators, they're passionate creators, and they really need your help to make these dreams go forward. So please click on those links, buy those books, and don't forget, read more indie comics, especially ours. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Follow, like, and share.
Yes.